Did I iron your shirt?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to put my hoodie back on.
it with a cold brick.
I mean, if you want, it's little nip out as well.
You know you can
Cold
get
in it.
do you know you can get crease release now? Where you spray it on your
I've
shirts.
seen that actually.
Yeah,
What, and it's just boom done?
You spray it and hang it up.
and it just drops out.
How does it know? What does it do?
I mean, how does it know? It's the same as like if you take your stuff straight out the washing machine and hang it up, it doesn't crease. Gravity.
You're listening to The Word on the Streets with Joe Bingham, Jason Tasker, and Raj Pujada.
Yeah, right, guys. Welcome back to The Word on the Streets. We've just been talking about how I don't iron my clothes. Lovely stuff. Thanks for that, Raj, pointing that out. Jason turned the aircon on, so if you see my nips at any point,
it's cool.
I apologise. But speaking of Jason, this is the prodigal son has returned from his trip to the Big Apple.
Yep.
How was your break?
Break was good. Spent 10 days there. Pretty intense. It rained for probably 90% of my trip, which is always nice. Yeah, did a bit of everything really, a bit of sightseeing, ate a lot of food. Just a little bit more chilled out in New York, that's what I'd say.
It was more chill than London.
Yeah, like it's...
But is that because you're on holiday? You know when you're like, I could live here.
I was working / on holiday.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, so I worked in the week, so I just lived the normal lifestyle of an American.
Okay.
Or an American.
But is it like work experience? You know what I mean? Like when you're
I
working.
graduated from that, mate. I'm 34 now.
You know what I mean, though? Like,
because you were out with your place, innit?
Yeah.
So were they treating it a bit like you were like on a residential, or was it hard graft? Was it a bit like, but Jason's visiting from our London office?
No, it was like my normal job was just kind of look after myself anyway. So just normal graft. I was out meeting people because I work in American markets, so I can just meet clients and candidates face to face instead, or people who I've worked with in the past. So
I have no idea what this guy does. You know,
it's because he's the same as every man in London. You say what you do, and he says recruitment, and then you just don't ask any further questions because that's like 90% of
people
this
jobs. That's about it, really.
Fair enough. You enjoyed it though?
Oh, mate, it was class out there. Like everything was just good. I stayed in Williamsburg, which is a nice part of the city, just over the Brooklyn Bridge. Nice.
I got attacked by a pigeon in Brooklyn once.
Money's up on this pod, isn't it? Everyone's doing all right.
Oh, mate, I spent an absolute fortune there. It is very expensive. Even just like the worst thing is things like consumables. So like deodorant, like $12.
Is it?
For a can of deodorant. You just walk around stinking, wouldn't you, really?
Well, did you meet any like mad crackheads on the subway?
No.
Nah.
Subway, a lot better. Subway, better than the Tube.
Well, the Tube is disgusting, but I feel like all I see from New York... Fucking hell, that energy drink's mad, isn't it? all I see from New York on like Twitter and that is just like some crackhead will get on the subway dressed as Spider-Man and start doing backflips.
That's the rats, though.
There's a lot of the performers were of a better standard. Do you know the ones that get on the Tube? Some of them will like start doing all like gospel shit and things like that.
What's gospel shit? What's that?
So like singing all in harmony and stuff like that. Yeah,
singing hymns and that.
Yeah, but like, wholesome. Or some people will get on and like read poetry on the Tube.
You do a set.
Yeah, I just died on my arse. Yeah, I did the 5 p.m. on the Central line to Brooklyn Bridge.
What was the best thing you saw when you were out there? Because I've never been, but I want to go.
The best thing I saw was probably... That's a good point, actually, because most of the time, like for a lot of the week, it was raining. I saw a lot of restaurants, but like good restaurants, nice restaurants. Went to a comedy show, went to New York Comedy Club. That was good. Saw Mark Normand. Very good. It's a little bit different out there. Service, a lot better than the UK. People actually give a fuck when they
Yeah, but that's because they get tips, ain't it?
Yeah.
If I was getting tips, I'd probably be working my ass off as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas over here, you're doing minimum wage.
Yeah, you can feel
people
it.
Shout abuse at you at the bar.
But the problem is, because you're British, like even when they're trying to give you service, because you know that it's coming at the end where you've got to tip them, you're like, you try and keep the conversation to a minimum. You're like, I don't want to know this. Don't get too close to this guy because they want 22%.
Do they tell you like what the...
Is that the rate? 22%?
Yeah, you like at the end, the bill will come and then it'll be like 18, 20, 22, and then...
No zero.
No, 0.
What, and like 18 would be like insulting. Like
18 would be like
you've
probably the minimum.
You've done a shit job. Here's 18%. That's mad.
What do we pay? 12.5
or 15, and that's just in London. Like outside of London, like people just probably tip 10%.
And the only reason we do that is because most of them on receipts in the UK are optional service charges. But you've got to be a real cunt to go. Actually, can you take this off, please?
Yes, I'm a cunt then.
But yeah, it's like a very British thing, isn't it? Where
I do it all the time.
What, when you're in restaurants and that, you go, I'll pay, but can you take the service charge?
If you ain't lived to the Pajara standard, bro, give me my 12.5.
What's the Pajara standard?
Don't be a wanker. Be on point. If it's slow, if I have to ask you, can I order?
Well, where's my drinks,
done.
please?
Yeah, done.
That's you out.
Yeah,
0%.
Tapping out, yeah.
I think it's one of those where I think service charge, I'm with Joe on this.
What?
I don't like taking service charge off. I think if you can't afford the service charge and the service is being okay, then pay it.
Nah. Some people don't deserve that shit. They're still getting paid, man.
Yeah.
I think that is the difference. Don't they get paid a higher? No, they get paid a lower.
They get paid like $1 an hour or something like that, and then it's all made up.
So
but in the UK,
dead.
What is service charge, bro? What is it?
Also, if it's service charge,
what is service charge?
You know what the maddest one is when it's service charge.
Got an answer for
Would you want like the Oxford English Dictionary?
Yeah, service charge is just you're paying for the service that they've provided.
Okay, and what are they getting paid for? To provide me a service?
Yeah, but that's my point. In America, they get like an awful salary, hence why the tips are higher, innit?
Yeah,
so that's
makes sense
so that's
to
my
me.
things are here. They get paid a salary, so then you've got to pay on top of their salary.
My point is, listen, if I want to tip you, I'll tip you. Don't make me tip you.
Yeah.
If I put cash in after, that's cool. That was up to me. Why are you making me do it?
Okay.
I don't always get it taken off, by the way.
Okay.
But
Just
9
not if
times
it's
out of
lived up
10.
to the Pajara standard.
That's it.
Which sounds like you're a dictator because you said if I have to look in my man's direction, then he's not getting service charge. If I have to make eyes at this man, then he's not getting service
listen,
charge.
look, I'm already overpaying for food, right?
Okay.
9 times out of 10, shit's a bit over.
In London, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's another thing. The food miles better out there. I've decided that English cuisine in general is dog shit.
You've just decided.
What the
that.
hell is English cuisine?
But exactly, fish and chips, roast dinner.
What are all the best restaurants in London? They're all like foreign.
Yeah, there's
But
nothing
like,
real.
isn't American cuisine just American diners? So it's the same thing out there, and like the best
Yeah, but,
restaurants
like-
will still be foreign food.
Yeah, but like just I don't know, like the food was just a lot better.
I don't think they have
Saying
the
that,
same
though.
restrictions we do, though.
Are the Italian restaurants banging as well because of all the Italians that
Italian
moved to New York?
restaurants were banging out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Mexican as well because it's close to the border. All the Mexican places that I went to, amazing.
Well, New York's meant to be famous for food because of that, innit? Because so many immigrants came through
yeah.
Staten Island and just set up there. Like I remember, like, my mate who lives in New York, she was always like, some of the best food you'll get will be like from like Armenian delis on a corner. Because my man just rolled over like 8 years
Bagels.
ago. Now his family are just running some deli shop and it's just sick.
I do love a good bagel.
Yeah, bagels out there were class. I'm trying to think what else we went to one Vanderbilt, which is like a skyscraper, to look over the.
Is that the one with the viewing platform?
Yeah, to look out over the city. And that was one of the days where it absolutely pissed it down. So
Couldn't see fuck all.
Yeah, and they stand there at the bottom with the screen on the iPad, like this is what you can see up top, and it was just like grey. I was like, okay, is that the actual, like, what is that? And that was the actual view.
How much did you have to pay to go up there as well?
Fucking hell, I'm not sure.
So that's mad.
Jesse paid for it. So.
I'm so tight when I go on holiday. Like,
That's spoiled, man.
yeah, he's man.
But it was quite good because it was like art installations and stuff like that. So that kind of made it cool. I don't know, you might have seen on Instagram where they got all like the silver balls and they're all like blowing it around everywhere and all the rooms. So it was a better experience than going up the Shard or something like that. So it was worth it. But yeah, the view was substandard. But I've already, like last time I went, I've been up like Rockefeller and stuff like that. So
I've never been in the Shard. I've never been up it or anything.
That's
No,
pretty
same. Have you ever
average.
taken your missus up the Shard?
A couple of times, yeah. I did it at the weekend.
Is it worth it though? You dickhead. Is it that bit's worth it? But like, is the actual Shard worth it? Because
Shard, pretty average.
I'm looking at a city that I live in, innit? Like, what's
Just
the
full
point?
of wankers taking pictures on Instagram, and it's just like to see London.
Yeah, I'd feel like I'm in D Block Europe if I went to the Shard or something, just because of that one tune.
Yeah,
Take you to Shangri-La, which is like every other song that they made.
other good things.
Do you have any idea what he just said?
No idea. I'll take you to Shangri-La.
You're not bumping D Block Europe now.
No, he ain't.
Oh,
no.
D Block Europe, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've never. I tried listening to one of their albums, and I was
Terrible.
like, "This is not for
Terrible,
me."
terrible,
I was like, "They had
terrible
like a #1 album, didn't they?" And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"No, this
Terrible.
is not. I'm not on this."
Terrible. But it's nice to have you back.
Tell you what, I did go to, which is pretty cool. On the last night, I thought I've just been drinking margaritas all week. Time to take it down a notch. I went to a bathhouse.
What is that?
Pretty cool. So, like, where you go in, you get given like a robe, slippers, and then there's like sauna, steam room, plunge pool, hot pool, normal.
They got a few of them in
tropical
Soho.
sauna. Yeah, everyone's just like round there chilling, chatting. It's quite cool.
You've been to the ones in Soho?
No, there's like it was like a Turkish
Turkish
Turkish,
bath.
like a Turkish
I've
or
been to a
Russian
Turkish bath before.
Nah,
Yeah,
the
but this
ones-
one was
the
a bit
ones in
more
Soho are
market.
different, man.
In Morocco. No, that one, I know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
did you have a Haman?
Is that what it's called? Yeah, Haman.
Yeah,
Haman. I had
Haman,
one of
yeah,
them,
yeah,
bro.
they're good,
This,
yeah. What's
that?
This motherfucker scrubbed me.
Haman is where you go like.
They like you lay down and they scrub you clean.
Oh, and like with the pumice stone.
With the
Whatever it is,
exfoliator,
bro. My eyes were
but,
shut.
But like literally, they go hard, like to the point where your eyes are watering.
I loved it.
Nah.
It's great.
It unblocks all your pores.
But did you feel relaxed after?
Yeah,
I didn't have
felt
a
great.
Haman, but when
Yeah,
I've
I
had it
had
before,
one
I
in
won in
Morocco.
Morocco.
I had
Yeah.
one in Morocco. Cleaned me, and then at the end they're like, "You want extra?"
I'm just imagining you getting a Haman. Like they came out, just like
She's like, do you want extra? And I was
Yeah.
like, no, I'm okay, actually. And in my head, I'm like, my dad's next door. I
Yeah.
wonder if he got
Oh,
asked
really?
the same question.
yeah.
I feel a
Dad
bit
definitely
mad
said
just
yes.
going to another country and being like, "Can you clean me, please?"
That's what they're known for.
Yeah,
Like-
Yeah, that's what they're known like for Haman. It's like a traditional.
Yeah. Then I went
thing that
next
they
door,
do.
got a massage. Yeah, it was good, man. It was really good. I recommend it.
I told you about the. You man know about the massage that I went for in London, though, innit?
Yeah.
Just a man's flat. It's not,
Yeah.
not the same experience. I thought he was going to put me in the fucking bath.
I mean, I've had like sport massage, right? I've had like needles put in.
acupuncture thing.
Yeah, but they run electricity through it.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
That sounds more like an experiment than a
Yeah,
massage.
it's
so it
from
goes
Pulp
like
Fiction.
way deep into the bit of the tissue that you can't get into.
Did they work? Like,
Sick.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Was
Makes
this,
your
was
muscle
this,
spasm.
this in your NFL days? That's probably why you got restless leg syndrome now. It's just the, the
Yeah.
residuals of getting
left one of the
electroshock.
needles
fed
in
I
his
into-
leg. He's
appreciate
just
you laughing at my medical condition, actually. Do
So I see a lot of people doing
you
all
reckon I
like
can get a blue
acupuncture.
badge from a restless leg syndrome?
Mate,
So,
it'll,
what's the ailment? It's made my calves stronger, if anything.
it'll
my
probably be
calves
something
are
that's
mad.
celebrated soon.
I reckon your burst of speed over 4 or 5 yards is electric, mate, because
No,
of that
10. I
calf
got 10
power.
yards in me.
You'll be able to do it. It'll be like the new fad soon, won't it? The new mental illness fad. You'll be like, I've got RLS.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to make a thing of it. And then you're just gonna, like when you go on stage, you go, just let you know I've got RLS. And everyone will be like,
Standing
oh, God.
ovation.
Standing ovation, clap.
Nah, he's got clap. You don't get a standing ovation for that.
Yeah.
I haven't got
Do you think
clap.
that'll become a thing in the like? Look, I've actually got,
because my career
I've
would have been
actually
going a lot
got
better
AIDS.
if it was.
You've been
I'd have been on TV more than I fucking have.
you have like 8 Netflix specials by now.
Fucking hell. Riddled. The Joe Bingham story.
But yeah, went in the plunge pool as well.
What is that?
Yeah, because you mentioned this in the group chat and I didn't
Freezing
know.
cold water. Do you know where it's
You
like?
did 1 minute 30.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
You know what I thought it was when you were like, I
Pathetic.
did 1 minute 30? I thought it was one of them ones where you swim against like a fake current.
No,
I
I
was
probably
like,
would have drowned if I did that. No, but
1 minute 30 is pathetic.
No, it's not, mate. People were going. It was that cold. People were going in and jumping straight out. It was that cold.
I bet you £100 I could do longer.
Yeah, but you're well insulated, aren't you?
Do you think that makes a difference?
Yes, I think it fucking does. To be honest.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Also, because of how petty you are, you'd put your little
Yeah.
Apple Watch on. You'd do 1 minute
Yeah, I'll
30
put my Apple
just
Watch
to
on.
secure the bag.
Yeah.
You wouldn't then go, I'll do 2 minutes to prove a point. The second that
And then
thing
we-
beat that you'd beat him,
Oh, do
you'd
2
jump
minutes.
out.
Yeah, he did 2 minutes. Then we drag you out and have to like de-ice you.
Is it that bad? What is it like? How long can you like legally stay in
So
there?
there was a woman who was in there at the same time. She must have been in there like 10 minutes. I thought I went in.
See?
I went in
Women
the
are
first
doing
time.
it. I'm joking.
I went in the first time and I managed like 30 seconds, and then I did another round. And I was like, right, I've came here. I said I'd go in for a while. Everyone else was getting out very soon, and this woman. So I thought, what I'm going to do is, so I'll go in and then I'll speak to her because then that'll make time pass a little bit faster. And I was trying to talk to her and I was like losing my voice. It was that cold. I was like, oh, hey, well, how do you stay in here long?
Just do it as well.
No, she'd gone by then.
What's the thing called?
Is there
there's-
one in London?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Maybe
Let's
we
do
go.
it.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll
there's
do
a
it.
Turkish bath in London. Yeah, because I've looked into it before.
2 minutes.
I'll give it
100
a
Two
go.
minutes. 100 quid.
You in?
Mate, no, I'll do 100.
What?
You said 2 minutes, 100 quid.
Yeah.
2 minutes. Oh, two. I thought you said 200 quid.
No, 2 minutes, 100 quid.
All right then, but I get the chance to beat you after.
No, you've already set the where you.
Whoever stays in there the longest.
Yeah, I'd
gets
rather do
100
that. Whoever stays in the
Oh,
longest.
so we're both in it at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's quite a
Fuck
good
it, I'll
challenge.
do it. Then it's just the other two do 50 quid each. Whoever stays in
Do
the
you think that'll
longest
get
gets
rid of
100
the clap?
quid. Nah,
You can't wear anything in there.
stuck with it.
Yeah.
You can't wear anything in there. Just trunks.
I'll
Just
beg
trunks,
you
yeah,
to
just
wear
have shorts
trunks if
on,
I'm
I was
getting
gonna
ice
say.
cold.
Yeah, I was going to say, mate. I don't know about you, mate, but I'll be probably double layered.
No from me. Fuck it.
But you can't wear like a any other
No, I
clothes.
just had swim shorts on.
Right.
What's it called?
Let's do it.
Oh, it's the is it the Meyer Hoff thing?
Is
Wim Hof.
Wim Hof.
This guy.
Wim Hof, and he's the guy who does the cold water treatment.
Win Chun.
Isn't that the same thing?
Nah, that's the Donny that clapped him with the nunchucks, bro.
Yeah.
That's
No,
mine.
I can't keep up, man. They both sound similar.
Wim
Yeah.
Hof is the cold water.
cold water guy,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's the guy. He does training, but in extreme low temperatures, and apparently it makes like his endurance. Like fuck, he runs like ultra marathons, pisses him.
Yeah.
And he reckons it's because he's trained his lungs to like. Because isn't it something to do with your lungs don't take in as much oxygen? That's why if you play like football in the cold, you get out of breath. So my man just like runs around on fucking
I
ice
think
planes.
1
and shit.
minute 30's nothing.
Mate, honestly, it hurt.
You don't have to put your head under, right? You just.
I was up to my shoulders, and it was painful. Like,
You've just got to breathe
do you
through
know?
it.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Why are you
Breathe-
trying to have a conversation?
No, but breathing was fine.
It's just
once I got my
mental,
breath,
isn't it?
it was fine. But it was actually like people like felt like someone's like stabbing you with loads of needles.
Yeah, it's like
It
when
was
you
that
get.
cold.
Is it called Balnaze when you go from really cold to warm too quickly and you get the shooting pains
Yeah,
in your
like
skin?
prickly heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like that, but all over your body.
It's just mental, doesn't
Wasn't-
it? Like
yeah,
the
it
reason,
was, yeah.
the reason it's so hard is because you know you can get out at any point.
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't be able to run a marathon. Because the second it starts hurting, I'd be like, I could just stop. Like, I wouldn't be able
It's like
to.
people running a
do
London
it.
Marathon. It's just a bit like,
What's the point?
why? Like, why would you? Like, people run it and then they're like dying at the end, and then they probably got like a.
Well, you know
The
what?
hip
Let's not
problem.
get you started. It's because they're raising money for some sort of thing.
Oh,
Get it?
yeah,
And
that
you're
as
not a
well.
fan.
Oh,
You're not a fan
God.
of charity. So
Yeah, I hope they're injured.
yeah, I'm running the London Marathon to raise £20 for this hospice.
Got the highest entrance for next year. 500,000 people, 10 times higher than usual.
How much does it cost to run it as well?
No
Because you
idea.
have to pay
Yeah,
to
you have
run
to
it.
pay, I
My
think,
dad
yeah,
ran
yeah.
it.
Because then that's the whole thing as well. This is what I mean when you were talking about raising money for stuff. You've got to raise back the money that you paid to run it anyway. Or is that
Yeah.
just coming? Or are you just going to go?
Well, I think
right,
you
that
should
off.
pay
That's
out
come
your
out of
own
my
pocket.
pocket. We'll just
Yeah.
donate that money then.
I think you'd have to
Fuck
pay
a
it out of your
marathon.
own pocket when you're
Yeah,
early.
but you're trying to raise thousands, not 60 quid that you might have
I
spent.
ain't. I'd rather just pay 60 quid and not run the marathon. I'm not going to do it because I can see your brain going, we'll do it and donate then.
I'll do the marathon.
Yeah?
I'd want the record for the slowest ever marathon.
Wasn't it that guy that did it in the old scuba suit?
Yeah. Old
And it took him days. No, it was the guy who did it dressed as a snail and he crawled it. Or was that the New York Marathon? Did you see it?
No, there was a guy that dressed as a diver or something, yeah.
But I think the longest, the even longer than that, was one of the marathons. The guy dressed up as a snail and crawled it on his hands and knees in a big snail costume.
His back must be fucked.
Yeah.
I'll do something better than that. I'll try and do it whilst dragging a car.
Okay. Your old red one. I could drag that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think you'll be all right.
Have you
you
seen?
reckon?
Speaking of like the mental endurance and that, I read an article a while ago, and it's the world's hardest endurance event, and it's in New York, and all it is you have to. I can't remember exactly how long it is, but it's just circling the same 4 blocks in New York. That's all it is, and it takes days to complete because of how long you've got to do. And all these monks were like going to do it as like preparation for like adjusting their mentality, because they said the hardest part of it is like passing the same landmark over and over again and being like, I don't know how long I've been doing, I don't know how long I've got left. It just breaks you.
Just like me
apparently.
going to work every morning.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just a
Ain't that
rat
called
race.
Hajj? Ain't that Hajj?
Nah.
You go Mecca.
Well, yeah, but
It's the same concept, no?
Yeah, but I feel like you've got more of a. I feel like with that, there's more of a reward coming back from it, innit? Because you've gone on pilgrimage.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just you probably get a shit medal at the end of it. You know what I mean?
So what, you just walk around full. How does that?
But over and over and over again, like it takes.
I used to
days.
run around the block. I didn't
For days on end.
Oh, non-stop.
Yeah.
Easy.
And it's all to do with like getting the.
All of this shit's easy, man.
Okay.
That was another thing that happened on the way back. On the plane, I was surrounded by it was like
Asians. Was it Asians?
No, it was 90% Jewish rabbis.
Oh, didn't you say it was man going to? Were they going to Tel Aviv?
They all going to Tel Aviv. So, mate, they were not joking. 90% of the flight, like all like in full. I don't know what you call it. Full dress, full attire. Yeah, and I was sat between two, and I had quite an interesting.
I had a great flight, innit? Me sat in between all of them.
Yeah,
sounds like a set up to an old joke you did out in the pub.
Yeah,
it felt like I was in like
two rabbis on the plane.
I would just get all my Israel Palestine and my Quran ready for the flight. I just put it on my little table.
I felt a bit intimidated. I'm not gonna lie. I felt a bit intimidated.
You can't kick me off for reading that. You know what I mean? You're just going to have to tolerate me.
When I was flying out to Cairo, I felt like such a dickhead. But I went on my own, and I got to Heathrow, checked in, and the woman behind the counter swear down read my passport and just went, "Oh, Mr. Bingham, that's probably the only surname I'll be able to pronounce on this flight." I was like, "Okay, a bit rogue, but fine." And it was just everyone, just like bare Egyptians, like flying back to Egypt. I was like I think I was one of maybe like 3 white people on this flight, and I'm reading this book that's all about how like this theory that aliens created ancient Egypt, and I was like, "This
like
is
blasphemy."
bare disrespectful, actually." In hindsight, and I'm just reading it the whole flight. Mad.
Yeah, but it was a bit of it was interesting.
Was it loud? Was it?
No,
They all know each other.
Yeah, they all kind of like knew each other. I don't know whether it must be a time of. I need to research like what it is. Whether it's a time of like pilgrimage or something like that.
I'm gonna have a look.
But it was it was like 90% of the flight.
Yeah, my mate's dad's out there right now as well.
Yeah,
That's
it must be like a time of pilgrimage, and they're all in the departures lounge, like praying, I guess, or I don't know. It's the same thing, isn't it? Praying.
Oh, it's just like a 10-day holy pilgrimage, but it doesn't like.
But it did make me think, like, do you know if you like? It must be hard being like a rabbi. Like, could you be arsed with all of that?
Well, you
It's
can't.
the same as being a priest.
Yeah, you're just committing
same
your
with
life
being a priest.
to
It's
a
just
cause,
like
isn't
it's
it?
a big commitment, isn't it? Being a monk, it's like, could you be arsed with all of that?
So
Well, yeah, I guess you can, isn't it? It's your job. It's a job.
I know, but it seems like quite a lot of effort.
Yeah. I mean, there's little rewards though, isn't it?
What are the rewards?
For kids.
So it'd be this.
Not if we're talking about the Catholic Church. Is that a reward?
I don't know what's going on.
Might be a
with me
reward in
today,
your book, mate. It's
I'm
not in
getting
mine.
cancelled. I'm cancelling myself today.
It must be this one. It's the Feast of Weeks. There is a Hebrew term for it, but I'll butcher it.
Say it.
I want to say like Shavuot.
Oh, Shavuot. Yeah.
I can play it. Shavuot, apparently.
Shavuot.
Between
I didn't
May
get
and
that deep
June.
into conversation.
Yeah.
I did. I was chatting to them. It was, it's just quite interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds
I
like you
live in
learned
a very
loads about it.
Jewish-
I've just had to fucking Google what it is, mate. So I don't know what you were chatting to them, man, about.
I was talking about one of them about what his career was, and he was actually working for a Jewish accountancy firm. So,
Oh, well.
yeah, he was studying next to me on the flight. So,
Did you help him out?
So you want a
no,
job
'cause
in
I don't know
construction?
anything about accountancy. I was like, I can help you fail if you want.
So you missed all the
All the
our
coronation
festivities.
shit. Yeah.
Charles' big day.
Did you do anything with that?
I didn't even watch it. No. I caught a glimpse of it when I walked past the pub, but nah.
What,
My
you caught a
TV
glimpse of, I thought you meant actual him then. I thought he was like in the pub for a few shandies after.
It was quite weird though, like walking through the city and just seeing like people waving like Union Jacks around. It was like we'd liberated France at the end of the war again. It was a bit mad. Like,
yeah, it's like one of them as well, where it's like, oh, it's the only like first coronation in 70 years. There's going to be another one in probably 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, my TV didn't work.
What, you were like, I'll catch the next one?
No. My TV didn't work in a hotel.
I'll tune in for part 2.
My TV didn't work in a hotel, so I didn't watch any of it. But I figured like she reigned for what 70 years.
Yeah.
He's 74.
52 years, man.
He's going to get probably a 10-year reign. If
In
he's
my
lucky.
head, I was like, man, there's another bank holiday coming.
He'll die of gout or something like that by the looks
It's not
of it.
looking good, is it?
No.
All the news of it as well, typical British journalism, all the news was just about like, oh, Harry turned up in a suit and then left immediately afterwards. And
I watched the video of that.
Yeah, he doesn't work for you, man, anymore.
He,
Like,
he
chill out, man.
turned up and then he walked like behind Prince Andrew, and it was like pretty awkward. I don't think they embraced or anything like that. I didn't get a chance to wank his kid off.
Andrew's full clearance now, isn't it? He's back to full.
My man's in all the garb,
Full
mate, dressed up.
clearance.
And to be fair, if I had a nonce uncle, I probably wouldn't hang out with him either. To be honest, I wouldn't want to be photographed.
Yeah,
with the man,
you wouldn't
know?
be. Yeah, you wouldn't be getting pics with him, would you?
Nah, bit mad.
But why would you, as the king, then pardon him or whatever, or equivalent?
Bros before hoes, innit? I don't know.
What do you think to all like the fuck, like a lot of people were just like fuck the monarchy and all stuff like that. Like what do you reckon to that?
I don't know. I saw a mixture of both. To be honest, I saw a lot of people who are obviously like still very into it.
When you break down the numbers, yeah, it's nuts. The amount he inherited, the amount he'll earn, the amount of extra money that went into it, and you think, for what?
What when people in this country are starving?
Yeah,
Bro.
like the most ironic picture I saw was the potholes filled in with sand. Did you guys see this meme?
While his carriage is going over it.
So this,
You know the road that leads to
Was it the
the
M1?
mall,
to the palace.
the mall, innit? It's called the mall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know where they
yeah.
always they've got like
Where they line it all.
the horse guards court on the left with Green Park, and that road is fucked. It has been for ages. But yeah, there's a picture of like the gold carriage going down the street, and they've just filled all the potholes in with wet sand basically, and it's just like it's a bit mad.
Country's falling to bits.
It is, mate. It's on its knees.
He inherited a lot of fucking money.
His personal wealth it's in the billions.
Mad. But
what can he do with it?
Do they really bring that much?
Pay for his fucking party, mate.
I mean, if he's only gonna have one party, he'll be fucking dead soon. enough,
Exactly.
won't he?
So he could
His
have paid
birthday
for it.
soon.
Is
Do
it?
we get a day off for that?
Nah.
BYOB as well. My man's not even putting a free bar on the tight cut. It's a shambles.
Do you reckon he did that? Like, yeah, the tab's up.
Yeah.
He only put a couple of grand behind the bar.
Yeah. When the card's done, it's done.
Yeah, it's. I just think how much do they contribute to tourism?
Isn't it a big myth? Like they've never been able to substantiate exactly how much the royal family brings in for tourism numbers. So they're like that was always their big argument, but they've never been able. Like it's a fair amount, but they've never been able to substantiate how much.
Because it's impossible to. How would you?
Exactly, but
every tourist that comes here will probably go and look at Buckingham Palace.
I've lived
But
here my whole life, and I've never gone and wondered. I've walked past it.
I would argue that no one comes for Buckingham Palace.
No, but when you're here, innit?
Yeah. So, like, I'm looking at some of these pictures from the coronation, and I'm thinking, rah, didn't even know Netherlands had a king.
Yeah.
Netherlands got a king.
I never went there for the king.
I will say though, like when I was in
Yeah, but does that mean? Yeah, but that probably means a good thing then. Like if you know the king and the queen, then if you don't know who the Netherlands one is, then obviously it's not that big
So
a draw.
maybe they do add to tourism.
And also, I think it's a bit hypocritical in a sense because when I was in Thailand years ago, there was something going on with their royal family, and I rocked up to the palace to see what was going on. Because you're on holiday and you're like, oh, this is interesting. Yeah, I was just like, oh, this is interesting.
The white man's here. The white man's here to save us.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. Nah, but so I get why people are interested because you're interested if it's happening overseas because you think it's quirky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But here,
You went over to see what was happening, what the ruckus was about.
I didn't fly
He
to
didn't even have a-
Thailand
he didn't
to
even
see
have a planned
what
holiday.
I'm with the king. I was just in Bangkok.
It was just.
mate.
It's like I need to be on Thai Air tomorrow. Get me booked in.
There's a problem in Thailand. I've got to get out of there.
I put my baggy elephant print trousers on. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm out here.
Joe will fix it.
I had a no money no honey vest on. I was looking every bit the white man that rides
With your
mopeds around
Chang, with your
Bangkok.
Chang beer vest on.
Yeah.
I'll sort this.
Yeah, I weren't interested though. But there were so many people that I told like, oh, I'm not gonna watch it, and they were just like, but it's history. I was like, yeah, but I don't care. Like,
Do you believe in conspiracy theories yet?
all right, tell me something.
Yeah, tell me so. I'm listening.
What about the king?
The Grim Reaper at the coronation.
That's not a conspiracy theory. That's just a video.
No, but did you see it? Did you see it?
Yeah, someone walked past the door dressed as the Grim Reaper.
Okay, so this is something I read the other day, yeah. The date of the coronation was the first lunar eclipse or something, right?
I didn't have you down as a cosmic girly, bro. I'm sorry.
So
was fucking Mercury in retrograde.
Oh shit.
Oh mate, it's because you're speaking out. That's
Yeah,
why
isn't it? That's it now. He's going to keel over in a minute.
Taking him out.
For anyone listening, Raj is keeling over just because he's said something about the lunar eclipse.
His Apple Watch heard him.
Yeah,
He's been
Apple Watch is telling him he's dying right now.
You twinged your back.
One sec. Got a cramp.
Yeah.
It's not gone.
Where have you got cramp?
How'd you get a cramp in your fucking back?
How'd you get cramp in your
I
stomach?
don't know. Sometimes I get them in the back of my head as well.
Mate, wait till we get you in that plunge pool.
Ain't it?
That guy
2
lasted
minutes.
10
Easy.
seconds, mate. You're going down.
Mama just said he could run a marathon pulling a car, bro. He got cramp adjusting himself in the chair. Because he was excited to tell us something he'd seen on TikTok.
No, I got lightheaded there laughing. Honestly, I ain't eaten in hours, bro.
Why are you getting sliders on it today? You're chilling now, aren't you?
What do you mean?
Show the camera, like.
No, I can't. I'm wearing Nike tracksuit bottoms.
Normally you got you're high on the drip. You got like your best trainers on.
I think I look good in anything.
I mean, yeah, that's it's always good to have a high opinion of yourself, isn't it?
I like that the hair's still back.
Yeah, because I ain't washed it.
Fair enough.
I'm surprised no one's commented on my moustache.
It's just disgusting. We're not talking about it.
You know what? When I was watching you tell the story, I was looking over and I was like, "You've been to New York for 10 days and you think you're Andrew?"
No,
Schultz."
I'll
Yeah,
tell
I was
you.
going to say, anything Andrew could do, I could do.
Yeah.
I tell you what. No, it's not that. I watched Babylon on the way back.
Nice that. Good.
Decent film, actually. Worth a watch.
Okay.
Worth a watch.
What's it about?
It's basically about Hollywood in the 20s
the one
and
with Brad Pitt.
30s. One with Brad Pitt.
So you saw Brad Pitt with a tash and you went, "Yeah,
Saw
I'll have
Brad
that."
Pitt with that pencil moustache, and I was like, I'm having a bit of that.
You know what?
Turns out I just look like a Nazi nonce.
You know what? I was gonna. You know Brad Pitt's trim in Fury. When it's
Similar.
all, yeah,
I've had that before. Yeah.
I asked my barber for it once, and he said to me, "Do
Was
you
he
ever,
furious?
do you ever, dickhead?" He said, "Do you ever wonder why Brad Pitt didn't keep that haircut?" And he's like, "Because it's just gonna look shit, bro." So just don't. And I was like, "You know what? I respect you for telling me."
I had that haircut for a bit of time.
A lot was it?
Be yourselves, man. Fuck.
No, I just like changing it up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think
I'm
your hair
waiting for
looks
the-
better like that.
I'm waiting for someone to do my look.
Yeah.
Like we can like really sharpen
Wait in
you
a
up,
minute.
I feel. I just like to mix it up.
Are you gonna listen to my conspiracy theory?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We'll
Alright.
bring it back.
So, the first lunar eclipse, yeah. And when you do so the fact that they picked the 6th of May is not it is quite specific. They did it for a reason. I can't really remember the reason why, but I'll find the clip. Right?
Natural born storyteller. Professional comedian and storyteller, Raj Pujara.
I didn't grip all the information in the video, but what it came down to is the king has to be killed if it's something to do with a lunar eclipse on that day. So what they do is they put a decoy Charles in,
So he's dead, and that
and then
was a
he will
decoy.
be coronated in private.
Okay.
Which
So it
is
wasn't
mad
really
because that was
Charles?
like an Indian wedding, that ceremony.
So that was like a double.
apparently.
His body double. That would be a really hard body double to get, though, wouldn't it?
I mean,
Prince Charles?
fingers look kind of thin.
Nah, because I saw some incredible tweets from the big day.
Did he have
Obviously,
to put a
I
ring
don't-
on? Did he have to put a ring on when he did it? I didn't.
So yeah, the
Yeah.
Indian guy gave him the ring, right? Lord
Yeah,
Pop Hat.
Did they like have to grease it up before
Nah,
they put it
they
on?
didn't put it on.
They
He
put it
just-
on with a machine.
They
put his
put
hand
it
on
on a
it.
plinth.
Yeah.
He couldn't get it on.
Really?
Yeah. He's got to take it back to the jewelers, get it resized.
Yeah, it's got to get remade.
Yeah,
Got to take it
yeah.
back to the Jewish quarter. And
What I love is
London.
they took the Indian diamond out of the crown that Camilla wears, right? And just put it in with the South African one they stole. So it's a
Nice. I respect that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
less controversy on that one.
Sorry,
Yeah, do you know what I
Yorkshire's not famed
You
for
gotta
its,
stick to your
its
morals.
jewel and diamond mines, so they're all from somewhere, mate. I'm sorry.
I know,
tell
if it was
ya.
British, they put like a bit of coal in it or something
yeah,
like that.
just a fucking potato in a
Yeah.
ground. Fucking hell.
But the
I
thing
wonder
is, that
whether-
in terms of kings, there's been worse kings, hasn't there? Like, Charles gets a bad rap. He's into, like, what? All he's done is
Jimmy
bit of
Savile.
gardening, cheated on his wife,
Best friends
killed
with-
his ex-wife, but that's not that bad. Like, think how many wives Henry VIII killed.
Oh yeah.
And don't get a bad rep now.
I'm
Maybe
fairly
in
sure he
100
does
years'
get a
time.
bad rep.
People just laugh about
Imagine
it.
being
Like, oh, he killed
remembered.
his wives.
Imagine being remembered for a rhyme about how many wives you beheaded. I
What's
think
the
that's
rhyme?
about.
What's the rhyme?
Is it divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived? So he only killed 2 of them.
That's pretty, and one of it, he let one of them live as well. So
What's
Yeah.
that, like 25%? It's a lot of wives to kill, man.
Yeah, which is the same as which Charles has probably done 50.
He killed a third of his wives. It sounds worse when you say it.
And Charles did 50%.
Yeah, that is true. Actually, that is true. I saw a tweet when he was trying to get the white glove on, and someone tweeted saying it was some comedian from Manchester, and he was like, the last guy who struggled getting a glove on under this much scrutiny also killed his wife.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a very clever.
Do you think it was him or the Queen?
They're all the same, aren't they? They're all in cahoots.
Someone would have ordered it, I reckon.
Well, he was
And watching.
He said it like he ordered it on Deliveroo. Like he just went on the app like one princess death. Yes, okay.
Watching The Crown, my money's on Charles. You know, the Queen comes across okay on The Crown.
Well, yeah, I thought the Queen always seemed like a nice old lady, to be honest.
Charles
but like,
got it in him.
When there was obviously a law that used to be you couldn't go on the throne if you were married to somebody who'd been married previously. So unless they were widowed, so you couldn't get married to somebody who'd been divorced. And there was a king, I think it was one of the King Edwards, just before World War II. He abdicated the throne because he wanted to get married to this woman who'd been divorced twice. And the church and the law were like, nah, it's not happening. And that law only got lifted in the early 2000s for Charles.
Yeah, the Queen took it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that because when he ascended to the throne, they were like, I don't want it to be a problem for you. So they lifted the law. But it was only, just under 100 years ago that we had a Queen abdicate the king.
Well, when was the monarchy abolished? As in, if you go back like a few hundred years, like everything was to fund the monarchy, essentially, wasn't it?
Well, it hasn't
Before
been
we had
abolished.
when they created Parliament.
When they created Parliament. So really, it's been eroded to the point where it's not really. It is maybe just
but the Queen,
a tourist attraction now.
But the Queen and the King still has to go to Parliament so many times a year.
And the Prime Minister comes to...
Yeah. To let them say, you can keep doing your thing.
Yeah, but they've not really got that power, have they? Like, they go to them and they say, like, I want to do this. But they can't really... They get the final say, but they're kind of, like, told.
They get final...
laws and stuff.
Yeah, they get final say on any law that's changing national statute and law. And they also still have the authority to roll into Parliament and go, nah, this is done, pack your shit up. It's just they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, they just haven't got the power, have they?
Well, they have. I just don't think it makes sense for them to do it. You know what I mean?
I've learned so much since this coronation, though. Like, how it works with monarch and why Prince Philip was Prince Philip and not King Philip.
But why she's Queen Consort.
Why she's Queen Consort,
but her actual title becomes Queen Camilla.
And what happens if... Let's say Charles dies, William takes the throne, then Kate would be queen. And let's say William dies in a freak accident, then is it George, the baby?
So, yeah, it's George.
Yeah, so that's
why Harry fucked off, innit?
No, George would become king, but if he's under 18...
He's king in waiting, isn't he? King in ascension.
He can pass it on to make Kate the queen or Harry the king.
But he then takes the throne when he becomes of age. Yeah. So you become king in waiting, essentially.
Yeah.
But do you not think that all just proves it's a bit of an antiquated
But what happens if George dies before he turns 18... Does it go to his sister or does Harry take over? That's what I don't know.
No, because Harry's left the family. So he'd have to be sworn back in the same way that Andrew was. Because there was a whole thing with the Andrew thing that was like, how would Andrew become the king? And it's basically Charles dies, William dies, George dies, Harry dies. This is before he left the family. And then I think Andrew would get it. I think Andrew's like fifth or sixth in line to the throne.
That would create.
If it was like some kind of plane crash or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but we're pretending like Charles ain't a nonce, bruv. Come on.
On what grounds?
Charles ain't a nonce.
What do you mean? Man was out with Jimmy Savile all the time, bruv.
Yeah, but so were a lot of people. So was Louis Theroux.
I'm sorry, that's bollocks. Yeah, that makes everyone a fucking nonce. Like Jimmy Savile, massive nonce. Yeah, but think how many of those engagements have been organised by other people. Do you think Charles was like belling him up, like, "What's up, Jimmy? Do you want to meet up and go for a coffee?"
Yeah, he wasn't visiting him in strange
all those
ways,
pictures,
was he?
like, that's
It's just
probably
he
in the
was.
course of 15 years.
It's just Savile raised a lot of money for
I
the country.
love your innocence.
No,
Bless you
Savile
both.
was a national treasure, mate. When he got buried in Leeds,
Say that again to the camera, go on.
Savile was a national treasure. When they got buried in
Fuck
Leeds,
off.
they shut the whole of Leeds down, and they did at the Queen's
he was,
Hotel in Leeds, because I was living there at the time. It was like the fucking Queen had died.
That's
mate.
tarnishing your
I've been in
legacy.
those.
They had to exhume him. They had to dig
Yeah.
him up because they were like, we can't leave
So
him
people
here.
are quite fickle with the memories. Like you can't just say like, "Oh, look at all these photos with Jimmy Savile." It's like you're all fucking giving him jobs.
Yeah,
I've stayed in that hotel. It's quite nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm still saying Charles the Nonce.
Was he on the?
That's why it's forgiving of
God,
Andrew.
we're proper back of a bang on the nonce brand, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe-
was he on the flight logs for Epstein Island?
Can we edit that bit out where I say Charles the Nonce?
Was he on the flight logs for Epstein Island, Charles?
No, but there's some funny people in that
Oh
list,
yeah,
though.
The Tom Hanks one's the best because you know whenever you see a poster on the tube now of a Tom Hanks film, people just write nonce all over his face, and it's like,
No, there's like really obscure footballers. That
Yeah.
Who was it on there?
Do you think it was chartered as that as well, like flight nonce? Just it's got no number. It's
Yeah,
just
but
called nonce.
wasn't it like a relegation threatened like Premier League football?
Yeah, I can't
or
remember who it
something?
was, man. It was just someone so random. It was a Chelsea player.
James Ward-Prowse like Epstein Island.
But I think like he must have just hired the island, right? They must have done that,
I don't know how the logistics worked, but
right?
I don't know.
You don't think?
I don't think you can hire. He owned the
All
island.
right, then
I
I'll
don't
put
think
this
can
to you.
just
Like,
hire it.
if you were like, say you were,
I think you can go somewhere not nonce.
if you were a
this is gonna be
successful
your
comic,
question.
Epstein approached you and he was like,
What before we knew what we knew?
and he went, "Do you want to come on this flight? And I'm going to take you to this mad island."
Yeah, of course I'd have
What?
gone.
And I didn't know anything that was going on.
Of course
Yeah,
I'd
you
have
probably
gone.
would have gone.
Yeah, 100%.
This
Again,
comes
like,
back.
who knew and
this-
who didn't
this
know?
could
But then the problem is
This-
that I'm on an island.
And then what
now.
happens what happens when you're there when he starts doing his work?
So this comes back to the point that I was talking to you about the other week in a way. So you get asked by Epstein, not at the time, not knowing what you know. Come on this jet, yeah. I've seen you. I've seen
jet,
your,
yeah.
I've seen your stuff online. I
seen-
think
I'm a
you're
big
funny.
fan.
I'm
Why are you
putting.
not laughing while
I'm putting an event on. And you're the entertainment. Yeah, that's the premise. of
I've not
what's
seen
going
this
on.
event online. Yeah, it's under the radar.
Yeah, but you get a good fee in it, and you get to come to this island. So you're gonna be like, all right, cool, whatever. So you go.
What's the fee? What's the fee?
It's Epstein money, big in it.
Give me a number.
My man's like, you know what? I was laughing at all your shit the other day. Couldn't stop laughing. He's like, I'm gonna give you like 500k.
How long's the set?
Just come do as long as you want, and then you can
Okay.
have a party with us, innit?
Sweet.
So you get on his jet, go to his island.
Yeah.
First,
Who's on the jet?
I don't know.
Bill Clinton.
Just me?
Yeah, because you're coming from London,
Okay.
and whoever that Chelsea footballer was, and,
Right.
and you're like, oh, this is cool. There's a few celebs here and whatever.
Yeah.
First couple of days,
Fellow celebs.
Yeah. Because obviously, yeah.
Bill Clinton and Celestine Babayaro.
Yeah. so you're there, yeah. You get to the island, you see a few more people. You know what I mean? Hillary turns
the weather
up.
like?
Tim Howard's there. Obviously, it's sunny.
Tim Howard?
Yeah. Obviously, it's sunny. You know what I
Sunny,
mean?
yeah.
Because you're in the Caribbean or wherever the fuck in the Virgin Islands. Yeah. So, you first couple of days, calm, innit? It's like the Scooby-Doo movie, you know, when they go to the party with Mr. Bean done it, and everyone's just like drinking cocktails on the beach, and you're like, man, this is a vibe, man. And you're like, when's the show? Like, show's in a couple of days. You just relax, innit? But then you notice, during the night, that they seem to be having events that like not everyone's invited to,
Yeah,
and
guests
it's
only.
down at the weird little cabin
Shack.
thing that was on the beach.
Yeah.
So you're like, all right, cool, maybe that's just him
So
and-
what,
him
at
and his
this point,
boys.
is there kids running around? or
Nah,
not?
you ain't seen nothing like that. So you're just like, all
You
right.
see things in the shadows moving every so often.
So you're just like, yeah, like the velociraptors in Jurassic Park.
Like a bit of rustling in the weeds at the side.
So you're just like, all right, cool. Yeah, this is all calm. Like, I'm getting a good fee and I'm on holiday, basically. Like, cool. Then what happens is you do the show, everything's great. He's like, you know
I get
what?
a standing ovation.
He goes, you know what, Raj? That was everything I wanted. That was great. I'm so glad I booked you. You know what? I like you. I liked hanging out with you. I want you to come to our party tonight. that we've been going to down on the beach, and you're like, cool, innit? Vibes are good. You like my set? Go down. You get to the hut. Yeah, I won't go into the details on the podcast, but that's where you see the fuckery that we found out was going on. Now you've seen
what was going. I can't remember
the nonsense. So
what live?
Yeah,
but before as you're making your way down there, there's a guy who's cleaning the pool and he's just shaking his head, going, "No."
Yeah, you don't want to do this.
Okay,
but you're like vibes have been good so far, innit? And obviously money's
playing?
up. Yeah,
really loud.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, like the kind of music you like as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so you get in there, you see what's been going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now moral conflict comes in. I'd hope, but I know. Yeah, so I think it would be moral conflict.
Have I already been paid?
No, you've not been paid yet.
Nah, you got to invoice him.
Okay.
So you've seen the madness. You're on this island. You probably don't really know where the island is. You know what I mean?
What's the madness? How mad is it? Like, just tell me off, Mike. What's happening? Don't do it in the mic.
Like what is there's fucking 3 mics around me. Proper nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah.
The stuff that he got put in prison for.
Right. Olympic level.
Yeah. Yeah. Like proper. So
I see it.
Yeah.
Music's my taste of music.
Yeah, but you get like.
So I'm bopping my head a little bit, but I'm looking at people like, yo, what the fuck's going on?
And it's a record scratch moment. Like, you're probably wondering how I got here. One of them. You've had a couple drinks, but I think this would sober you up. I can't lie. So now, moral conflict time, innit? You've been private jetted, at proper PJ to this island, with Celestine Babayara. So you probably don't know where the island is because you've just heard the fee, and you're like, what? I just get to go to an island in the Caribbean to get paid $500,000. Cool. You don't really know how you're going to get back because you ain't got the money yet from the fee. So he was your flight back as well to London. So what you do? You're stuck on this island for like a couple more days. Like what are you doing?
I don't think there's much I can do in that moment. I might create a scene. I'd be very conflicted. I might in that moment.
But there's no way of getting off that island.
Yeah, no. But
the wind's picking up as well.
It depends on your emotional reaction. You're saying initially.
I think I would just go like, what the fuck, straight off the bat, and then it depends on what happens.
But what would they do with you?
That. Well, yeah,
because that'd be your concern, isn't it? Is like, what if I make too big a scene, are they going to be like, this guy's a liability? They'll probably just
implicate you in something anyway.
Yeah, this guy's a loose end.
Yeah, I'll probably create a scene, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll pretend like one of them is my sister or something.
And you think maybe... Because I think at that point, the most likely outcome is...
They kill me.
Blackmail, like Jason. Jason's like, well, you're here now. We've got a guy over there who's took some photos of you at this party as well, so cool. We can make shit up. Or they just off you and chuck you in the sea, basically. Your third option is obviously you...
Yeah, but no.
Your third option is obviously you go in there and you kind of go, oh, shit, okay, this is my first time, so I'm probably, kind of, not going to get involved.
What's the etiquette
I'm
here?
a bit tired, actually. And then you try keeping your head down for a couple of days and you get the ride back. And
I'll
then
be honest.
Go to the papers or
I'll
something.
be honest. And what I would do is, I like to think I'm quite level-headed. So I would have to get back home.
Mm-hmm.
I would do everything not to partake, and I wouldn't. So I would faint if I have to. I'd fake a heart attack. I'd do whatever I needed to get out
cramp.
of there. But I'm there for a couple more days, right? So I'm gonna try and gather as much evidence as I possibly can.
So you gather evidence. That's risky though.
This
isn't
is
it?
not the Scooby-Doo movie?
I'm gonna take some pictures. I'm gonna catch everything.
I'm
gonna catch them. Because there's no point me. What if I die? It just carries on, right? If I create a scene, I get beat up. They might just, God knows what they'll do to me, right? So I might as well use the opportunity to try and out them, and then it's whether people believe me or not.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing, isn't it? A lot of the time now, if you come out with information, people just issue counter information.
And he's got good lawyers.
But I've got the pictures.
But that is probably the option that I'd have gone for.
Yeah.
Because you need to get back. So this comes back to, I'm sure.
And I would try and talk to the victims in the most slyest way possible to be like, shout me when you get back.
Okay.
We're gonna sort this out.
So this comes back to, but potentially contentious point. But I'm sure I was talking to you about this. I was talking to Omar about it the other week, and I'm sure I was talking to you about it as well. So, let's say British Empire days, East India Trading Company. Let's say
Am I Indian?
No. Okay. Let's say you're the average man in London.
What, the Indian's not an average man?
No, you're the average London man at the time. Yeah.
Right.
Poor, ain't got much going on. Your family are hungry. You need to feed your family or whatever, and you're like, I'm gonna go down to the docks, get a job in it. So you go down there. They're like, we can give you a job. Get on this next ship. You're going to be sailing out to such and such a place. Got to go pick some shit up, bring it back. That's your job. You're working on the ship. Maybe like you fucking mopping the deck or something like that, yeah? So you go on the ship. You get out to this country. You get out there. You realise the shit you're picking up is shit that don't belong to us. It's stuff that we've nicked people sometimes. Like, that's the cargo. Do you not think you're doing the same thing where you're kind of like, I kind of need to get back to London still? Like, because I was thinking about this. Have you read like when Akala's talking about the slave trade, and he was saying like the average like poor working class man at the time like wasn't that far removed from like the slave, because he wasn't the one that was profiteering from it. You know what I mean? It was the big man. And this is why I think it's mad that like in this day and age you've got these like this massive generation of people who are like livid about the British Empire with Charles at the coronation and stuff, and it's like your dad probably wasn't, you know.
These
like,
are difficult questions.
You know what I mean?
With, you know, like, because it's a different time, isn't it?
It is. People got short memories. Like,
it was a job for a lot of people, for the vast majority of them. It was the decision makers that knew they were doing fuckery, and the people that have continued to stay in power who've gone. Like, I think it's probably like James Acaster's best bit when he's talking about the British Museum, and he's basically going, we know it's wrong, but now we're going, oh, you can pay to come and look at your shit that we robbed hundreds of years ago if you want, but you can't have it back.
Yeah.
Like, they're the mad ones. But Donahue was cleaning the sails. Probably weren't too involved, you know what I mean? He was just trying to get off Epstein's island.
Yeah, but they must have some like management structure there.
What, you reckon there was HR on the ship?
I want to see the manager.
You reckon there was HR on the ship?
I think a lot of people didn't know, man. I think if people knew, then they wouldn't do it. I would like to think that the human race is overall quite ethical.
Because you can only look at it from like what your personal opinion would be now, and even that's tainted by what we know about history. But you'd be faced with the same kind of moral dilemma, innit? Let's say you're on the other side of the world, you've sailed weeks to get there, and then you're like, same thing as what you said. I can cause a scene because I'm like, nah, this don't feel right. But then in the back of your mind, you're like, I do kind of want to get home and see my family again.
What's the modern day version of that? You using an iPhone?
Epstein's Island.
No, you using an iPhone that you know a Chinese child made.
And this is my point when I talk about a lot of the people who are like making these like protest posts online and stuff. And that's my exact point. You made it on a MacBook at a factory in China where they put fucking suicide nets around the building. You know what I mean? Like, it's no different.
Yeah.
People just are willing to turn a blind eye to things that benefit them, which is what people were doing back in the day and are still doing now, innit? And I think that was the big thing with Epstein, innit? All these rich people turning a blind eye, maybe. And the same with Savile, because they were like, well, it benefits us because he's rich and we still get invited to the parties and makes my life easier.
I think some of it is just so hard to believe as well that you might have heard it in the rich circles and thought, fuck off, no way. Do you know what I mean?
Have you'll know about this one surely, because I don't know the details of it, but I bet you do. That conspiracy theory about like the groups of elite that all wear red and that.
Red shoes.
Yeah.
The red shoe gang.
I've seen bits and pieces on it, but I've never really read into it. But
yeah,
you must have watched videos and that.
Yeah, well, I only read it because of Madeleine McCann. Her dad was part of it, apparently.
And wasn't it back up again because they were talking about like the Met Gala and that, and where all those kind of societies come from?
No, I don't know, man. I don't know too much about it. I just saw like the what's his name?
Jerry.
Jerry McCann with a picture with 2 people behind him who were the E-fits of the people that stole. That were the apparent people saw hovering around the hotel room. And the other one being obviously Ghislaine Maxwell. So, yeah, it's a bit of a mad theory, isn't it?
What, he was in a picture with her?
No.
Is she still alive? Is she still in prison?
Yeah, she's in prison, yeah.
Who knows? Has anyone seen her?
Nah, she keeps cancelling my visitation.
You got questions? You want to show her the
Questions
screenshots
of
to
Raj,
TikTok?
I'd love to meet someone like that, man. I'd love to know what the fuck they were thinking. Like,
yeah, but you're never going to get the truth out of them, are you?
I mean, you take away the cameras and stuff, I think someone will be quite honest.
You reckon?
Yeah. She might just say, I did it for the money. I did it.
But you're never going to get the full truth, are you? It's always going to be like some augmented truth whereby...
Well, I think she was...
It's your memory as well, isn't it? What do you want to remember about the truth?
I hands down believe that girl that was talking about Andrew.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I mean, in terms of if you're a Ghislaine and you're telling the truth, like...
There comes a point where you're like, there's too much specificity in her story and stuff.
Do you think she's a victim of love? Do you think she loved Jeffrey Epstein and she'd do anything for him?
Oh, that's manipulation, isn't it? It's not really...
Because how many girls out there would do anything for their dealer boyfriend and hold a pistol?
Yeah, but again, that's manipulation,
Tasha,
isn't
like
it?
Tasha for Ghost in Power, you know what I mean? Until it all got
she'll take the strap, she'll put it...
Yeah.
So,
but then she's been...
I'm not excusing what she did.
No, but I get what you mean.
Yeah.
So, like, is she another victim in a sense, but she became part of the problem?
Dickhead,
like,
but I'm just thinking out loud. But I don't think she's innocent at all. Especially when you think how above and beyond she went to take these kids and traffic them and whatever.
Well, people are still big on that pizza thing, innit? And like the Wayfair thing and all that stuff. You remember all that? The Wayfair, the website, the furniture website, and there was certain
Wayfair,
yeah.
And it's like there were certain items on there where the measurements didn't make any sense for a wardrobe, and they were like, yeah, that's because it's code, and they're selling kids on Wayfair.
Really?
Yeah, and Wayfair was like, it's absolute bollocks, and it all got like disproved and whatever. But there was loads of it.
What?
Yeah, this was a few years.
They were selling kids on Wayfair.
This was a few years ago. Like, they weren't. It was proven. They were like...
Why didn't someone just try to buy it?
People did, yeah.
And it came. What was the measurement?
Imagine if you ordered like a chest of drawers and a 5-year-old Romanian kid turned up in it. You were like, this is not what I ordered.
Or it is the size it's
What's
on
the
the
return
description.
policy?
It's just a Sylvanian family fucking little dollhouse fucking thing. There's a lot of shady shit going on in the world. Like, there's a state in America. I can't remember where it is. It's in the Midwest somewhere. And it's got... intersections that go in all 4 directions out of the state, around the country, next to like 2 major airports, cargo ports and stuff like that. And they said it's basically the main artery through the US for like human trafficking, because it's so easy to just bring someone. They could bring them into this place and they'll be in a different state within hours. They just use it as just like a loading bay, basically, and just fire them around. There's bare shady shit that goes on, but this is my point. You'll never know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, have you seen how they get nabbed as well? Just doors open into the back of the car, gone out the mother's hand sometimes. Just taken, boom. What would you do if you saw that right in front? Say you're in the car behind and you just see a ute get snatched, taken into the back of the whip. What are you doing?
Again, what can you do?
Well, if you're in the car, you're going to chase after the car.
100%.
It's mad, isn't it?
You're not chasing them.
I mean...
You wouldn't chase them, nah.
And you're Brompton.
I'd like to think I would do, but in reality, like, you'd be pretty shocked, wouldn't you? You'd be probably panicking. You'd be shaking. You'd be like, shit, I'm going to call the police. What should I do? You'd probably call someone that you know, like your partner or your mate, and be like, what the fuck shall I do? You'd be panicking before you know that car's sped off. I think like you're probably picturing it like a film where you're like, oh, I'll just follow this geezer. They've probably got that operation down to a T.
I think I'd follow him. I wouldn't follow him for the purpose of doing anything.
Sometimes I follow police cars just to see what's happening.
Yeah, I wouldn't follow.
No, you got too much time on your hands.
You're like
honestly,
you're Nightcrawler, bro, like Jake Gyllenhaal.
if they make me go to the side and go past me, I'll just follow them and see what's popping. Right?
I think you could follow him on and ring the police and be like, "Here's the reg. I've just seen this."
Well, that's likely fake plates, and I got to get that kid back.
You went. Oh my god, it's Jason Bourne.
You're like fucking Liam Neeson. Who is?
I don't think I'm built for that.
No, because I'm gonna see that kid's face every time. Like if it happened right in front of me.
Look away then, bro. You know what I mean?
Turn a blind eye, mate.
Sometimes I think about like old people that I've seen fall over. They're like, I still think about them now.
Did you help them?
What would it,
Yeah,
I was
of
gonna say, what
course.
would happen if they stole an old person? Would you care?
Yeah, 100%.
If it's traffic to 80-year-old.
Anyone, even if I saw someone get like phone snatched on a moped, I'd try and get that back.
No, I'm not chasing a phone on a moped. Why?
Maybe not a phone, all right, because
Yeah.
it's just a material
Just a
item.
phone.
Yeah,
but
if it's anything like if it's a person, it's different to like an iPhone, isn't it? An iPhone's replaceable. A person, kind of replaceable, but not in the same way.
he's just partaking on the island. 100%.
Yeah, I think so.
100%.
My man said when in Rome. You know.
No,
what I mean?
I'm just being a realist, mate. That's all. Like, I'm
Being
not
a
going
nonce.
chasing after people. Other people get paid to do that shit. I'll raise the alarm, but I'm not chasing after them.
I
Not-
will pay my 12.5% service charge,
Mate.
but someone else gets paid to catch the nonsense. That is not
Yeah.
on my watch. Just like that waiter
I'm
gets
getting a
paid to
service
serve
there.
you.
Yeah, I'm getting a service there. Like, I'm not servicing someone else for free. Like, I'm not.
That sounded mad.
I'm not a fucking hero. Do you know what I mean? I've not got a cape on.
No, I
I'm
don't
not
think
fucking
I-
Batman. I'm not Bruce Wayne.
Well, if everyone was, no bad shit would happen. You know what I mean?
I'm not talking. There's not.
So, like,
you know,
no,
not
that's-
everyone's.
so my point
I've
is,
got a
like,
moral
not
compass.
everyone's-
I will like. do you
You're
know
not
what I
gonna
mean?
do
I'm
the kidnapping,
ethical,
but
I'm
You,
not.
alright, you see someone getting mugged right in front of you. You stepping in. The guy's got a knife.
like generally, I would try and at least try and diffuse the situation or figure out what's going on.
What are you doing? All right,
or step in and do the right thing.
You walk up to you're walking home. You're down that little alleyway by the little car park, yeah, and you see a guy with a knife saying, "Give me your stuff," to another guy. What are you doing?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd like to think I would do something. I definitely wouldn't turn a blind eye to something like that. Like,
What would you do though? Talk me through it.
I don't know what I'd. Yeah, it's easy to fucking speculate what you would do.
No, but like,
Innit? It's easy to go, I'd be a hero, I'd just fucking disarm him, turn the knife on him, put his hand behind his back, and then coppers would be there in a few seconds after I give him a wolf whistle.
Put him under citizen's arrest.
Citizen's arrest, mate. You like honestly.
Well, what are you doing?
Have
Are
you
you
ever
getting-
been in a situation where like something like that where you're under the fucking cosh? Like you react in ways that you're not fucking used to. You might start panicking. You might fucking do something, and then before you know, you got a knife turn on you. There's a lot of variables. And
are you going physical or verbal? What would
I
be
think-
your go-to?
I think with something like that, you probably got to go physical because if you went verbal, then it gives them a chance to react.
I think
think
you've
it-
got to act like you're walking past. And
Yeah,
just
that's what I mean. You've got to
blast
just
him in the side.
and
of
then
the
you
head.
just got to do. You've got to react. But again, you're relying on your. You're relying on a lot of things like your judgment. How skilled is this guy? How many times has he done it?
It comes
is,
back-
is this guy sober? Is this guy drunk? There's so many different things that
It goes
that feed
it goes
into a
deeper
situation
than that
like
though. Like right from the beginning, it goes deeper than that because all it is fundamentally is just fight or flight, and everybody is wired to do one or the other. And I don't think there's any shame in being one or the other. It's just the way that your body responds to a sudden rush of adrenaline.
Yeah.
So like based on past experiences like that, are you more inclined to fight or flight?
I'm more in. That's the thing though, but it depends what situation that you're in. If it's a situation that you might feel more comfortable in, like if it's whether that be someone when they're getting mugged on their own, or maybe it's something where it's happening like a fight breaking out in a club or something like that, where someone might have bottled someone. It's a different environment. In some areas, you might feel a little bit more comfortable dealing with it. In others, you might deal with it in a different way.
I don't know because I think if you break it down bit by bit, you can figure out what you're more naturally inclined to. Like I think I'm more naturally inclined to flight because if something is kicking off like that, and you can, because all it is, you get the rush of adrenaline. That's why it feels like stuff's happening in slow motion because your brain's suddenly able to process things quicker than normal. So like I still remember like that story I was telling you about the first guy that pulled a gun on me. My first thought is obviously, how the fuck can I get out of here? But as soon as you kind of weigh everything up and you realise, man, I'm kind of cornered, I can't get out of here, all of a sudden, like, flight's not an option.
But
So
say I'm
then,
walking
you're
past,
like, well, now I've got to try and diffuse the situation.
but say I'm all
somehow.
right. Say I'm walking past you in that situation.
Flight is an option.
But what am I? I'm looking at that situation. Am I assuming that someone's pulled a gun on Joe for a reason. Like maybe he's done something. I don't know. Like there's a lot of
it's a lot of variables, and a gun's very different to a knife. You know, my man could shoot you before you've even got near the situation.
Yeah. So like, there's a lot of different variables.
Raj tackled a man with a saber in a
like
kebab
this.
shop.
This is a good example, right?
Hungry.
My parents walking home from a pub one night near us in Nottingham. Fights breaking out outside. A woman's going at a man, and this man like starts like hitting her, being physical with her. My mum and my dad step in, start trying to break it up. Gets a bit rowdy. Next thing you know, all the rest of the party comes out. Next thing you know, my mum and dad are scrapping with 20 people. They both get arrested.
I respect your mum and dad highly.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean they didn't know? Like, and the situation is, and then they end up going to court against the other people who they were like trying to help out. So you don't know the full situation.
I also don't think there's a right or wrong answer, to be honest.
No, there isn't.
So I don't mean to just create dead air. I was just saying I don't think.
No, there isn't. You don't know the full situation, do you? You're only your brain's processing it, and you're making assumptions like, is this person doing some bad shit? Are they not? Like,
yeah, that's the tough bit. Is like
who caused it?
Knowing
Who
if
started
someone's
it?
joking or not, or yeah. But I think more times than not, I tend to go with fight. Like if I heard, and this has happened, to be fair. Someone got mugged round the corner from my house. I was straight in my car, round, looking for this person. My catalytic converter got nicked from the bottom of my car, but my dad saw the two guys, jumped in the car. Now, this guy I know has an axle grinder. But I'm thinking, I've just got to hit him with my car, innit?
Okay.
That's my logic in that situation. Obviously the wrong logic.
Hit him with your car? Or
just hit him with my car, because he's got an axle grinder.
Oh, so you're like, I know it's you because you've got the tool.
Yeah,
It's like the final boss, isn't it? And you're
My
in
man,
your car.
like
some Street
clued
Fighter
over.
shit,
My
yeah.
man's piecing it all together.
So I'm like, yeah.
It's
but I went
you on
looking
my
for-
driveway with the axle grinder. Just
So I'm
put
looking
his
for
foot
this
down.
guy.
What was his
but
name? Axel Grinder.
I didn't find him. Is it called an axle grinder? Angle grinder.
Angle Grinder.
He had the wrong tool and you still hit him.
I'm thinking of Axis. I'm thinking of Axis.
This man runs a family garage. He's been at work for 18 hours, bro. He's been trying to feed his family, and Raj has gone, you piece of
Raj
shit.
just
Wrong
burst into
place,
the pub.
wrong time.
Where the fuck's Axel Grinder? It's like, this is not the gay club, mate.
You love vehicular crime. Vehicular crime.
Yeah, I don't. Crime. No, there's no crime. I'm not committing no crime.
Have you hit a man with your car deliberately?
Yeah, not deliberately.
My man thought it was Batman.
Man's like the fucking A-team in his car.
I've got to hit him with my justice.
Yeah, because he's got a weapon.
He's got a power tool.
Yeah, which he could cut my arm off with.
He could have been at work.
No, I've seen the guy. I saw him walk past me. I just didn't know.
But did you see him nick your catalytic converter?
I didn't know he'd nicked it at the time.
Wait, so you got into your car to chase him, and then nothing happened because your catalytic converter was gone?
At that point, I'd given my car to my dad. He walked past the two guys. I was behind him. These two guys have walked past, but my car's at the end of the road.
Good player.
So then he turns the car on. Catalytic converter's gone. These two men are gone, but obviously I've seen them walk past me, so now I'm looking for them. But I think they got into another car and just jetted off. Couldn't find them.
Your life, man. Honestly. You are Jason Bourne, bro.
It's like fucking gone in 60 seconds.
Killing man with
isn't
a
it?
pen, you know. Man, you...
I think it all stems back to my pettiness. I can't have someone get one over on me.
Yeah.
I really struggle with that.
Sometimes I think when people are nicking something, I just think, okay, like, am I going to step in? Am I that bothered? And also, what's their reason for stealing something? Like, their life must be pretty shit.
Yeah, but...
Nah, crime pays, man. Like, if you see it, all right.
It does, but does
if you
it
see
pay
a,
that
if,
well?
If you
You
see
look at
a
it
woman...
like it's a food chain, bro.
Yeah,
Like, it's just
if
meant to be.
Well, it is.
if you see a woman nicking baby food in the supermarket, you're turning a blind eye. You're going, all right, you're in the shit. You need that, cool. But a man nicking a catalytic converter is just crime pays. You know what I mean? It's good business. It's full of precious metals. Catalytic
But I think they sort of almost look at it like
diamonds and shit. Yeah.
yeah.
it's what is it? Platinum and palladium, isn't it?
Yeah. Make a crown
Worth
out
more
of
than gold at one point.
That's why people were recycling their iPhones as well.
But a lot of people see that sort of thing as stealing from the insurance company rather than the individual.
Yeah.
It still comes out of your pocket though.
Yeah. I mean, it's not cheap, that whole procedure.
Nope. I'm not built for a life of crime. I watched a TV show. Have you man seen People Just Do Nothing?
No,
Yeah.
I've never watched it.
Yeah. Have you never watched it?
I've watched like one episode.
Oh, it's brilliant. You need to give it a chance, man.
Yeah, I need to.
But the guys who made that, have you watched the show they made, The Curse?
No, not yet. Was it good?
It's sick. Yeah, I've watched like the 2 series that are out. So it's all based on, well, very loosely based on something that actually happened in the 80s called the Brinks Mat robbery. And it was just these lads from East London, and they raided a storage facility by Heathrow Airport, thinking they were going to get like some money and some bonds and that.
They found the gold.
Go in there, they find the equivalent in today's money of like 91 million pounds worth of gold and some like jewelry and stuff like that. And they were like, well, while we're here, nicked it. It ends up being like at the time.
But wasn't it weird? It wasn't in the safe or anything, was it? Yeah.
So it ends up being at the time. It was all from the National Reserve, I think, the gold, and it was at the time. It was the largest gold heist in history. So a lot of interest in it and stuff like that. And it's all based around like obviously the police clamp down on them rapid, arrest a few guys, a few of them turn informants, whatever, get a few arrests. But a load of them just cut and went to Spain or South America or whatever because there was no extradition laws. But the curse is all based around how many people over the years have been shot dead that were connected to the crime. So it's like one of the jewelers who was melting it down and shifting it, he got killed in like the 90s. A pawnbroker that was shifting stuff for him, he got shot. One of the accountants that was moving their money, he got shot. It's a sick show though. But
there's a non-comedy version as well of that show. I can't remember what it's called.
And one of the guys that did it was also connected to like, who was the Donny that was the old train robber that died?
Ronnie Biggs.
Yeah. Like one of them was like connected to him or something as well. And I think they liked him for the job, but he was like, I didn't have fuck all to do, man. But it's a sick show. But would
you take the gold?
I think, yeah, because at that point, you're like, well, in for a penny, innit? I'm here now.
Yeah, I think once you've committed to something like that, then you're like, well, I'm fucked either way now.
But what about if you're not at the robbery, but one of your boys is, and he's like, yo, I got loads of these, here's one. You've already heard it all on the news and how mad it is. Would you take one?
No. Well,
No!
They go into this on the show, because the show is based around, they're not career criminals. They're just these everyday lads that get roped into it, and then they're way in over their heads, because obviously that's the comedy angle of it. But that's kind of what it goes into. It's like they're looking for ways to be like, I want fuck all to do with this anymore. It's a bit much, but the lure of like, well, we have kind of got it now, and all this dough. I don't think I'd want the heat.
It does look funny. I saw one clip where the guy's like, kick his head in, and Steve Stamps like, I would usually if I got my flip-flops on.
I'm wearing sandals. Tom Davis is in it, and he's fucking hilarious in it, man. But it's a good show. But I don't think... I was watching it the whole time, and I was just thinking, I wouldn't want the heat. Like, they're just looking over your shoulder all the time for not just the police, but like other gangs.
You'd have to get like surgery and shit, wouldn't you?
Well, back then, because it's based in the same time as
Nose Job.
Did you ever watch The Business back in the day, the Danny Dyer film? That's all based around all the London gangsters that moved to Costa del Sol.
Yeah.
So it's around the same time where they just thought, once I'm in Spain, you can't touch me, safe. But it's all like, I think that's the whole thing with The Business, and it is like they went over there and they were like, oh, I'm calm now, and it's like they all relaxed a bit too much. I wouldn't. I'm not
getting bumped off.
I'm not built for a life of crime.
No,
not at all.
It's been an interesting episode.
Yeah, it's been a lot, hasn't it?
It's been some dark turns.
I quite liked. I might make that a weekly feature. The role play with Raj. What would you do?
Role play with Raj.
Instead of would you rather, just what would you do if? And then just throw
Put
you
in a situation.
maddest curveball.
Yeah, something that he just literally can't answer without implicating himself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've learned
implicated
you'd
myself.
have single-handedly taken down Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
We've learned that you may or may not stop an armed robber, but you'd have to weigh up.
Yeah,
you'd have to get a
I'm
white. You'd have to get a whiteboard.
I need a
out.
second opinion.
I'd retrieve kids that have been
I'd be
kidnapped.
like, can I put this to a vote before? Yeah,
and I'd do 2
let the-
minutes in an ice bath.
That's what I'd do. I'd be like, let the public decide.
You'd commit vehicular manslaughter
Vehicular
if you saw
manslaughter.
a man with a powered
We'll
sword.
call it RP with RP.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I will take you up on that challenge though for the.
For the 2 minutes, 100 quid. 3 ways. Winner gets 200 quid.
Yeah, I reckon whoever stays in there the
Whoever
longest
stays in the
gets 100
longest.
quid.
From each.
Oh, is it? So we get
200
200
quid, yeah.
All right.
You in?
Oh yeah, I'll beat you.
And we can do it separately and just film it if you want.
No,
Nah,
I want to
nah,
do it at
nah,
the same
nah,
time.
nah.
I want to look in your eyes and
I want to film it, but we'll turn the camera off before we get out of the pool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did watch a video of this guy with walks around with a massive knob. Have you seen it?
I've seen videos
But he's like
that.
5
Is it
foot.
like he walks around with it? Like if he didn't, he could just leave it at home. Like I've just left my massive knob at home.
No,
today.
but he's like a young guy, but he's like 5 foot. Not young. Not
How young,
illegally.
mate?
Not illegally young.
Oh, man.
That's
but
what
like-
you'll say, mate.
But like he's.
What, I've got to stay there for a couple of days. Yeah. Oh,
What's your
shit.
defence? No, she wasn't illegally young.
I'm panicking.
You done?
Yeah, we done, mate. Yeah. Are you done it?
Not illegally young, but he's 5'6". But he's holding what 9 inches and 7 round.
7 round.
Mad.
Circumference.
Yeah, like bigger than his forearm.
That's just.
And he's like, "Oh, it's such a problem. People keep staring at it."
What it is, isn't it? Really.
Hold on, my man wears grey tracksuit bottoms all the time.
Yes, he knows. Yeah, he knows.
It's like, why are you trying to make a big deal about it?
Yeah, he
I'm
knows.
sure he said, "Nah." I might still have the video.
Maybe it's just like, yeah, but he'd struggle in jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why you got to wear grey tracksuit bottoms?
What you saying?
Yeah,
wear
I
black ones to try and hide it a bit more.
I don't know
Well,
what.
I mean, if you're making out like, listen, me,
It's not like he
I'm
can
wearing grey tracksuit.
It's not like he can
bottoms.
wear shorts.
I'm
you know
wearing
what I mean?
natural. I'm wearing natural coloured tracksuits.
Skin-coloured leggings.
I'm letting it rock. I'm
Let it rot.
I'm gonna have
Or
it
let it
out.
rock.
I'm just gonna be. I'm walking with it proud.
Who was the guy that was
Can you
on?
imagine? You'd have to get like a fucking cleaner to clean it, wouldn't you? It would just be like.
What?
Do you know what I mean? It'd be like a proper job, wouldn't it? Do you know what I
Ain't
mean?
that called a hammam?
Her mum.
You want extra?
They'd be like, we need another person, bringing the backup.
Yeah, imagine that. It's like,
It's-
do you want
it's-
extra? And he goes, yeah, right. Then my
No, but
man's
he
like,
looks
this
like
is a big job.
He's like just a nerdy looking dude. Like Ben Mitchell type dude.
That's kind of who I pictured, you know. when you said it.
5'6", like you with glasses, like just
5'6".
Yeah.
Mad.
Just some any guy.
I wish I had a dick like my forearm.
You don't.
Yeah, it'd be it. Nah, you wouldn't.
You just be annoying.
You remember that guy who went on? Was he on This Morning or something? He said he had like the world's biggest dick, and he was on with Phil and Holler, and he was talking about the measurements, and they were both just like, it's mad, and he was like, yeah, it's ruined my life. He's like, no, he's like, I can't have a partner, like I can't get into it with anyone.
Yeah,
it's
just
ruined my
You
life.
just become like a circus act, don't you? Really?
Yeah, but then the next day they had 3 men on to
Ridiculous.
talk about having like micro penises.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw that. Yeah,
Everyone on Twitter was like, "You couldn't torture that information out of me, and you've gone on TV."
that'd be like me and Raj after we've been in the plunge pool.
That'd be all for him. Let me tell you, I want to be inside me.
We'll be on
Why
this
did
morning.
Joe get a massive cock in your story?
No, he's not.
Because he was gonna look like my man.
Because he's not in the plunge pool.
He is. He's part of it.
Oh, you're going in the pool.
Yeah.
We're all putting
I'm
100
gonna-
We're all
up.
getting.
I'm gonna vlog it.
Yeah, you're gonna get beat.
We're all putting 100 up.
Okay, easy money.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wrap it up, baby.
Okay. Thanks for listening. I don't know why it got so ethical halfway through, but I was intrigued in.
What I learned is you two are pussies.
Yeah. So our takeaways from this are Raj is Jason Bourne. And me and Jason just want a quiet life, to be honest, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No.
But yeah, thanks for listening.
Thanks.
Give us a follow. Raj just checked out already. Are you checking on the football?
No, but I have got a question to ask you off air, actually. So
Okay.
hurry up.
Thanks for listening. You can follow us. Is it _? the word on the streets?
TWOTS,
Or is it
the
or
word
is
on
it-
the streets.
No, the word on the streets _
Okay, so follow us on that. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And share it as well, man. Post it up, spread the word. And yeah. What we might try and do in many episodes' time is get one of those Facebook paedophile hunters on to really go full circle on the brand.
We need traction at this
ask
point.
him the ins and
I
outs.
actually watched a documentary on them the other day. The one on Netflix.
We're going to try and get one of them.
Yeah,
on
we'll
and
get one
find
on.
out
Any
the
suggestions,
details.
welcome.
It's from Nuneaton though. It's kind of far.
That's
you'll-
my end.
Yeah.
Kind of.
We'll just. Is he one of the hunters or something?
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, stealing.
We'll just have to lay.
What, you making sure it's not a paedophile? We're not going to get a convicted paedophile.
If you actually get one of it's easier then, isn't it? Because you just go, oh look, I'm an underage girl, and then they'll just come.
I'm not going to fucking entrap a paedophile like it's
Yeah.
to catch a predator.
Meet
bro.
me at No Stars.
No, why don't we entrap the paedophile hunter? We pretend to
And
be
we
the
become the
paedophile.
hunters.
No, we become the paedophile, and then we we make them come here.
We become the paedophile.
We become the
And then we're like,
paedophile.
we're only
Okay, can we
joking.
put that into context?
Oh, yeah,
I was
'cause
trying
we'd
to
have
wrap.
to talk
I was
to-
trying to wrap this up, and now you're saying what
Yeah,
we'll do
yeah,
is
let's
we'll
wrap
nod
this up.
someone so that
No,
we
no,
can
no,
already gone too far.
Yeah, let's leave it. Next time.
We'll cut all of that. Probably won't.
Cheers.
But yeah, we'll see you next week.
Do you not
man.
get
So-
it?
I get what you were going for, but the wording was atrocious. We become.
This has been the Word on the Streets. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.